how's it going?
Good.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you for having me on. Appreciate it.
Yep. All right, so introduce yourself a little. What's your name?
My name's Boede Stoops. I'm currently 17 years old. I'm a junior at Mount Vernon Community High School, and I am currently the foreman, or as we call it, head cattleman of Pioneer Valley Cattle Company.
That's pretty cool. So I understand you do a little ranching with that. Did you start that all on your own?
Not entirely. There was a decent amount of financial funds that were given me from my parents. Otherwise, I've put in the majority of the work. Me and my dad currently own and operate it. We do chores every morning. We've got 4 cows to our name. We got a horse, and we're just trying to scrape by and get ready for the spring season.
So what was the inspiration to start the ranch?
I wanted to do something for my folks. My folks have always been in my corner for me. And I felt that this was a really good opportunity for me to give them something and work with them to give the Stoops family name another farm again. Prior to this cattle company being launched, I guess you could say, we own and operate an organic farm called Bluebird Farms. We were in operation from about 2012 until 3 years ago. We dealt with all organic products, broccoli, cauliflower, tomatoes. We sold in the Hy-Vee, new pie, but the issue with organic crops is while there's money in it, there's not enough to be able to run it via machines. And if you know about gardening, you know it's very labor intensive. You scale that up to 4 acres, all of a sudden you got your hands full.
And with a smaller family, I'm sure it's hard with few laborers.
Yeah, yep, it was primarily me, mom, and dad working that. We had pretty close connections with Feed Iowa First. It's a nonprofit based out of CR. They deal with potatoes and, for the most part, any food that can be given out to people for free. Currently, as of now, we have one contract up with them to grow around 10,000 pounds of potatoes to donate to the people of Cedar Rapids and the rest of Iowa, hence the name Feed Iowa First.
So what was the hardest part about starting the ranch? Was it money or labor?
The capital, I think, was the biggest thing, just being able to justify, the expense behind it. Cattle's very much a waiting game. If you don't have an operation previously established, you get in the game, you get a cow-calf pair, you let the calf get old, and then you AI, or you just breed out the cow and the calf again. When you think about that in time, you have to wait about 2 years to be able to take a calf to market, from when it's inseminated, to popped, to grown, to slaughtered. It's about a 2-year waiting game. So it takes, not necessarily forever, but it takes a long time to get into bringing in money, not just breaking a profit.
So what do you enjoy the most about what you do?
I think waking up in the mornings and doing chores. I get out, I get to go see my horse, or my teammate as I call her. I like seeing the cows in the morning. One of our cows, Eleanor, she's very friendly. She's a sweetheart. She'll come up, hang out by the truck, hang out by the feed tractor, whatever. I like that. Everything's peaceful, the sun comes up. It's a really good way to start the day.
So what were your first thoughts when Boede told you he was starting a ranch?
I thought it'd be a really good idea for him. I think that he really likes it, and I'm really happy for him. So.
I was surprised at first, but because I didn't think he'd be able to do it at first, because we're in high school, we're already super busy, we have all that to do. But then I started thinking oh, Boede will be able to do it. He has the motivation to do whatever he wants, so I thought he'd be able to do it.
It was always an idea of his, and I thought it was pretty cool that he was able to start that up. So,
did you think he would get as far as he is now with it?
I do. I think that he has enough, a big enough idea of hard work and determination that he really can do it, and that he's excited for it.
I definitely thought he'd do it for a while, because he had a job, so I was oh, he'll probably just do it on the side and work on his job mainly. So I definitely thought he'd go pretty far, but I think he's doing pretty good in high school.
I think eventually he would, if he put his mind to it and dedication. I think he'd get somewhere.
Do you think he'll be able to make this a serious business eventually?
I do. I think he's going to put enough work into it that he'll really just make it successful. And
yeah, I definitely think he'll be up there pretty good. I think he'll make a lot of money out of it and do pretty good, because with his motivation, he can make it how he wants.
If he sticks with it and commits to it, I feel like a few years down the road, he'll have something good going on.
So where do you see your business in the future?
In terms of 5 years, I really hope that it's at a statewide level. I hope that my Wagyu cross products are being distributed to most homes, to some grocery stores, being sold by the quarter, by the half, by the whole. In 10 years, I want to be nationwide. I want to be able to send my cows to someplace like Oklahoma or Montana, any place that people want to eat this delicious beef, I guess. That's what I want to be able to offer the people.
So you're planning on making this a career?
I really hope so. I'm giving myself about 15 years to get something launched and established. I just want it to take off. I want this to be something that I can use for my own personal benefit, as well as give my parents, specifically my father, something to retire for and work.
So could you run us through a quick day in the ranch?
Yeah, so our day typically starts at about 6:30. We get up, have a cup of coffee, get our overalls on, fire up the tractor, fire up the truck, run out to our shed. I would ride on the tractor with my dad, Rogan Stoops. We would zip over to the spigot on the side of the red shed, which we call the shop. We'd fill up the 100-gallon stock tank. We'd run that out to the water tank at the corral, fill that, drop the water tank, pick up a second pallet, run into the gray machine shed, load that down with feed, then run it out.
So Boede, is there anything else that interests you outside of ranching?
Well, I got a couple of hobbies. One of my favorite ones, I guess, is dancing. I go dance at the Swisher Dance More Ballroom every Wednesday night, or for the most part. I got a couple buddies that go. Andrew Samuelson, he's one of them. Another one that I really do personally enjoy is high school rodeo. I'm not sanctioned through the National High School Rodeo Association. However, I do ride broncs. My event's called Ranch Bronc. Ranch Bronc, you have your rein in one hand, you have your night latch in the other. You get your deep seat, and you give them the good old nod, and out she comes, bucking like a champ. And that's about all it is to know about Ranch Bronc. The cool thing that I like about rodeo is it gives kids a chance to explore different avenues. Like, for me personally, I have a Mustang who is green broke, not super well trained. I want to train her to team rope. Perfect. I can do that. I can get her entered in the High School Rodeo Association, or I can get her entered in the little jackpot rodeo organizations here in this great state of Iowa. There's all sorts of different avenues, and I really do think that kids need to explore it, because it is something that not everyone does.